My name's Callahan McMillan. Today I'm going to do climate change waste as my presentation. First, I'm going to go over what is climate change and why I picked what I picked. There are a lot of different things in our world today that are causing climate change. So I started doing some research on what were the leading causes to climate change. And there's a lot of different causes, but the one that really stuck my eye was waste. All sorts of waste. Human waste, and I'm going to go through what kind of waste. Climate is usually the weather of a place. Climate can be different from different seasons. As a place might be mostly warm and dry for the summer, the same place might be cool and wet in the winter. Different places have different climates. You might also live where it snows all the time, and some people where it's always warm enough to swim outside. What is climate change human waste? Because of the waste we've created, methane is second most prevented gas caused by human activity, followed by carbon dioxide. And while Americans cause significantly less methane than carbon dioxide, methane is 25 times more damaging to the environment. Pound for pound, the carbon dioxide over a 100-year period. So basically, methane, like plants cause carbon dioxide, animals cause carbon dioxide, but we cause carbon dioxide by doing things like, let's say, not recycling a plastic water bottle. That creates methane, and methane is what's ruining our earth. About 4.5 million around the globe do not have access to enough sanitation. Lagoons are responsible for illness in millions of portions of the greenhouse gases that are warming the planet. So basically, a lot of people around the world don't have access to enough sanitation, and so that's what's causing illnesses. And while people are and while people are getting sick and releasing the greenhouse gases, since they don't have enough access to sanitation, that's releasing greenhouse gases, which is warming our planet. And we know what warming our planet means, which is melting the glaciers and stuff like that, which is causing global warming. Human waste affecting the environment. The little talked about, our people have a huge problem with our people has had a huge problem disposing of human waste. A recent MODE study finds that wastewater adds about 6.2 million tons of nitrogen to the coastal waters worldwide per year, adding significantly to the harmful blackwater biological process in ocean dead zones. Waste is often identified as mostly developing our world's problem, but the developed world is also responsible largely due to older sewage systems that combine rainwater and wastewater in the same pipes. As a result, intense precipitation events regularly flush raw sewage into waterways into the US and the UK. And that's causing the picture I put down here in the lower screen. That's what's our human waste is causing. And so since all this human waste, what happens to this? What happens to that? And that is what's causing the methane and the bad gases that are ruining our world and killing our marine life and stuff like that. If we don't change something, scientists have been known for years that the gases in the Earth's atmospheres, like carbon dioxide and methane, act as a greenhouse. From causing a certain amount of heat radiation escape back to space. The more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, the warmer our Earth gets. And the warmer our Earth gets, we know exactly what happens. Over Earth's history, carbon dioxide levels vary due to volcanic activity, or the carbon cycle. Animals and bacteria breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, while plants do the opposite. So so plants, they do the opposite of that. And since the plant life and everything is dying, that's what's happening. It's so everything's going to die. Main threats to climate change. Rising temperatures from human caused greenhouse gases released affect planet-wide systems for many ways. For example, if our earth warms or if it warms our world and oceans, which melts ice covered and poles and causing sea levels to rise. Climate change affects the habitats by lowering oxygens, decreasing plankton, little plants, and serves as a marine for food, the marine food chains and the reefs. So basically, our whole marine life will die eventually if we don't do something about this. Ways we can help. Refuse to purchase what we don't need. I know that's a really hard thing to do, but I feel like people, nowadays, everything is about stuff, and you need stuff to live, But that's what's ruining our country, is because everyone needs so much stuff and nobody keeps that much stuff. People, the amount of, every day, you're always cleaning out your car, cleaning your house from stuff that you bought that you really did not need, getting rid of stuff, taking it to Goodwill, those kinds of things. You just need to think about what you're buying so you can really be diligent. This reduce buy in bulk rather than buying individual packages and goods. So, it's a really good thing. I feel like when you go to Costco, when you buy in bulk like that, you're not buying so many little packages of plastic things. So I feel like that's a really good alternative and cheap thing to do. Refuse things rather than throw them away. So reuse things rather than throw them away. So basically, let's say a plastic bag. Yeah, you shouldn't use plastic bags, but I've seen people, you can wash out plastic bags. If you're going to use them, reuse them. That will, number one, save you money. Number two, help our world. My thoughts on climate change and waste. I've learned a lot about climate change through this class. It has taught me a lot about what is causing it. That's why I decided to do it on waste, because the U.S. has a lot of waste and we don't know what to do with it, and it is causing climate change. We can prevent this by happening by being more careful of what we throw away and who we buy from. Conclusion. Human waste is one of the most leading causes to climate change. I know human waste isn't the number one cause, but it definitely is up there on the thing. And I feel like human waste is such a general topic. It's one of the most leading causes, honestly. But it's such a general topic, and that's why I chose it, because I kind of could dive into other things and talk about them too. There's all different weather where people live, but over the years it's getting hotter and hotter. I don't know if you've noticed over the years, but I feel like we peaked in the summertime, and they say by 2050 that we're gonna be hitting highs of 140 degrees in the summer times, and that will last for a couple of weeks. And you know what that causes? That causes wildfires and all sorts of horrible things like that, and not having places for wildlife to range, because there'll be no grass or anything because it'll be so dry. Human waste is becoming a bigger threat to our world every year, and it's getting worse and worse. It's just, our world is multiplying and we have nowhere to put our waste. And it's getting really scary, because it's what do we do with this? And so we just all need to be more cautious and try to recycle more and do as much as you can for the world. We do not have places um so and then just buying stuff locally and being cautious of what you throw away is honestly what you can do. But I also, like, from this class, I've learned a ton about climate change. I really did not know much about climate change before this class, but especially after doing this presentation too, I've really learned a lot, and I'm really grateful because now I'm definitely a lot more cautious about what I'm going to do and what I'm going to waste and not. So I'm really grateful for that, and it's just really scary if we don't take this seriously. It might be really bad, but I really enjoyed doing this presentation, and I hope you guys all enjoyed. And this is just my works cited, and thank you.